Hi, this is Lydia Jakovac from the Rossland Memories Project. I'm here with Margaret Rosse today, and today is Monday the 28th of April 2014. And Margaret, do we have your permission today to record your stories?
Yes, you do.
Thank you very much for that on behalf of the museum and everybody else who's listening in right now. I guess, Margaret, we'll start with tell me where you were born and where. When you were born and where.
I was born in Blairmore, Alberta, on December the 5th, 1922.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about your parents, who they were and where they came from?
My parents came from Scotland, and they moved from a couple of different places. They were in Blairmore for a while, working over there in the coal mines, and then they moved to Cominco because it got a better job. But other than that, I don't know what I'm going to tell you.
And what were your parents' names?
My dad's name was Seth, and my mother's name was May.
May. And what was her maiden name?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't know it off my hand. I've got it someplace, but I can't remember where I put it.
And your father's name was Seth?
Martin.
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 Okay.
Yeah, Martin.
So you obviously married into the Rosse family. Right. So tell me about your sisters and brothers and where you grew up.
I had 3 brothers and 5 sisters.
Now you're going to have to tell me their names.
Oh, I can, but that's all right.
Okay.
You want their names?
Yes, that would be lovely.
William, my brother, was the oldest one. Then there was Arthur. Then there was Seth. And then there was Janet, May, Nan, Minnie, and myself.
All right. And where did you all grow up?
But most of them all grew up here in Rossland.
Okay. And how old were you when you came to Rossland?
4.
You were 4. So up until the age of 4, where were you living?
In Blairmore.
In Alberta.
No, I wasn't living there because I was born here oh yes, I was born in Blairmore, yeah.
Okay. And what did your parents do over there? What was their, you said coal mines, but that was...
That was at Blairmore. He worked in the mines there.
In the mines there, and then came
here
to Trail.
Yeah.
To work at Trail in the smelter. And what did your mother do?
Just baked and made washing and did all the things that when you have that many kids.
I guess she was busy enough with all those kids. That's more than a full-time job. So you all grew up here. Tell me a little bit about the house you grew up in, and where was it?
It's right. It was on First Avenue, right across from the school. McLean School. Do you remember McLean School? That's where I went to school, and I lived there until I got married, and that was in 1947.
And can you describe a little bit about the house?
Oh, well, we got changed quite a bit because it did a lot of renovations and stuff. But on the outside there was a porch, a veranda they called them. They went right around the side of the house, and had a big living room, and then 3 bedrooms, and a big kitchen, and not a very big yard actually.
And how many bedrooms?
Just 3.
3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So who was in? Do you remember who was in which bedroom?
Well, yes, of course they weren't all born at the same time, so that so some came up and then the other one moved up and one went away and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like almost like 3 at a time in a room.
Oh yeah, a big double bed and another little bed.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the boys had we had a make down bed for them in the little 1 bedroom, and they had a little bedroom for themselves.
And tell me about some of the chores you had to do when you were growing up, if you remember, or your brothers or sisters.
Oh, I had to help with doing dishes, washing dishes, and cleaning up, things like that. And one thing I know we had to do when I was older was to help put the wood away for winter. We had to get a whole pile of wood and chop it up and pile it up in our little shed till it was full.
Where did you collect the wood from?
Well, they got, somebody brought it. They bought it from somebody that had all these
Okay.
trees. Yeah.
And did you take it in turns to chop the wood?
Oh, no. I didn't
No?
chop it, no.
You didn't chop it?
No, my dad did all that.
Your dad did all that, I
Or
was
my
going to say.
brother, yeah.
So you had the dishes and you had to put away the wood. What
Yeah.
else did you have to do?
Oh, well, I had to help with the wash of floors.
Oh,
When I
okay.
got older, but when I was little, I didn't have to do all those things.
No.
But when you grow up, you have to do them.
And what about the cooking? What kind of meals did
Oh.
your mum make for you?
Well, she made good meals because it was hard for them to get around with just the 8 kids. So that lots of soup, lots of porridge in the morning, peanut butter, bread, which she baked herself, and just ordinary meals, nothing fancy.
And you mentioned you had a small yard. Did you have a vegetable garden or
A
anything?
little one,
A
yeah,
little one? And
yeah.
Who was
One-
in charge of that?
My dad,
Your dad.
he was a gardener too. He liked to garden.
And what kind of things did he grow?
Oh, everything. Peas and beans and carrots and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, neat.
One year the beans had grew so tall we had to reach up to get them.
Terrific. Because Rossland's got such a short growing period.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And did your mother do any canning or any
Not a heck of a
pickling?
lot.
No?
Not a heck of a lot because she just didn't have the money to buy the fruit.
Right.
Because I had to buy all the other substances, what you ever call them.
And there was an apple orchard here in Rossland. Do you remember about the apple orchard?
Well, there was one, but I can't quite remember where it was. Was it down in the Happy Valley?
Yes, down
Yeah,
that way. Yeah.
down that way, yeah.
Did you get any fruit from there, or?
I don't really remember where we got it from.
And there were Chinese still here.
Oh,
with
I
their
know where the Chinese were. They were down
gardens.
go down the trail hill there. When you're going down the trail, there was down below there. They used to come around to the door and sell their vegetables, and of course, Mum, if we didn't, bought some because she didn't have enough to feed all of us.
Right. And do you remember seeing any of the Chinese people come over to the front door?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember their names?
Oh heavens, no. They just came to come up and knock on the door to see if we wanted anything, but I don't remember their names.
Did you see them? Or was it just your mum who...
No, I saw
Yes,
them. Yeah,
yes.
they were packing these things on their back, those 2 baskets they have.
Right.
Yeah,
The only one I know is Louis Joe.
Well, it could be. I don't remember any of their
Yeah,
names.
I've seen a photo of Louis Joe with the baskets.
Yeah.
And I heard that he came door to door. And what about the stores? Do you remember the stores here in Rossland?
Yeah. I went to McLean School.
You went to the McLean School.
Yes.
And when did you graduate? What did you do? All grades up to grade 6 or
No,
beyond?
I was up to grade 8 in those days.
Grade 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
So-
remember any of your teachers?
Oh, my teachers. There's the 2 main to remember. I think there was, of course, Mr. Perkins was the principal, and I remember Mr. Bishop, and there's others, but I just can't remember all the names. There are
Did
too
you have
many.
a favorite teacher?
No,
No favorite teachers?
no favorite teacher.
Did you have to learn French in those days?
Yeah, that's not till we went down to high school. So
Oh, high school. And
Yeah.
where did you go to high school?
down Cook Avenue.
Cook Avenue in Trail or Rossland?
No, in Rossland.
In Rossland here.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was the only high school. There was no high school in Rossland.
Okay.
It was
So-
down there. You had to go down there, and there was from grade 9, 10, 11, 12.
And what street was that on?
Cook Avenue.
That was Cook Avenue. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you had to learn French.
Yes, and I didn't. I could not learn French.
You couldn't. Why?
I don't know. I'm not French, I guess. I found it too hard to make it, to do French.
And so, what about your brothers and sisters? They all went to the same school,
Yes.
Cook Avenue and McLean.
No, the older ones did, but the younger ones, I'm just trying to think now. I was trying to think when they opened the high school up there, but that was a long time ago too. No, Mike and all my family went to the school,
The same
Here,
schools,
yeah.
right?
and then not to the Cook Avenue. My family didn't. Older boys didn't go to Cook Avenue. They went to the new high school.
And what was that called?
Rossland High School.
The one here?
Yeah.
Yes, up in Washington, up the top end up there.
Yeah, right up on top
Yes.
there, by the ballpark and all that sort of
Okay,
thing.
so they went there. So what was the age difference between the youngest and the oldest child?
My oldest brother, let me see, he was born in I think it was 1916 he was born. And the youngest brother, Seth, he was born in 1933.
So between 1916 to 33.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So we've got nearly almost 20 years there,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
That's quite a range.
Yeah, because my brother was born in Scotland. My oldest brother and my two sisters were born in Scotland, and I'm not quite sure when they came over from Scotland, because I was born here in 1922.
Okay.
So there you have it. You see.
Right. So, and your parents, do you remember them having a Scottish accent?
Not really. I
No,
just just there.
It was just there. It was just common.
Just common.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I know.
Okay. And so when you went to school here in the old McLean School, now the original one burnt down, is that right?
Mhm.
And then
They built that other monstrosity.
they built that one that we have now, right? Yeah.
We don't have it anymore.
No. There is a McLean School.
It's not called the McLean School anymore.
It's
I don't
now-
think. Is it still called McLean School?
I think now the French school are in it.
I know. I think there is but I don't know if it's called McLean anymore or
They
not.
may have renamed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but so when you were going to the old McLean School, tell me about. Do you remember a typical day at the school?
No, just average.
Did-
Did
you have to sing the anthem or anything in the morning? Prayers in the morning?
I don't think so. I don't
No?
remember doing it.
You don't remember doing
No.
that?
All I had to do was step out my backyard and I was in the schoolyard.
I know, how perfect. That's right. And how long was the day, the school day? Do you remember what time you started and finished?
We had to be there at 9 o'clock and we didn't get out till 3:30.
Okay,
But we had lunch, of course, and then a recess.
okay.
But
And so your brothers and sisters most of them went there as well.
mhm.
And then you went to high school. So what did you do after high school?
I didn't finish high school.
You
I
didn't
couldn't get
finish it?
French, so I just gave it up.
You gave it up.
Yeah.
So employment.
So yeah,
Tell me
that's right.
about your employment.
Well, at first I was one reason I did quit too was because my mother was sick, and I had to kind of help at home, help her because she was not very well, and then I used to babysit quite a bit, and then I started doing a little bit of housework for other ladies, and then I worked at the bus depot, which is gone now.
Where was the bus depot?
It was right. What is the name of those places now? You know where the big empty hardware store is now?
Oh, on Columbia
Yeah.
Avenue?
It was about halfway between that and the other end of the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And right next to it was the Rossland Minor Hall. Not the hall, their building.
Oh, the newspaper?
Yeah, the
Right.
Minor. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so you worked there for how long?
Oh, a couple of years, and then I got a job in a other store, a clothing store, and I moved up a little bit and got more money.
Oh, good. do you remember the name of the clothing store?
Yes, it was the Mussendens.
Mussendens. And what kind of clothing?
Well, they had men's and women's and shoes and material and sewing stuff and lots of things.
And what was your role in there?
What was my what?
Your role. What did you do?
Oh, I just waited on the customers, and of course put things out that came in. And you everything new that came in, we had to put out, of course. And I didn't do the pricing; the owners did the pricing.
Okay. Do you remember who the owners were?
Yes, they were my husband's sister and his husband.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned husband then. So when did you meet your husband?
In 1945, right after the war.
And how did you meet? Was
We
it?
met him in the store where I was working. He came to visit his sister.
Oh. But did his sister make a recommendation to meet you, or how did that work?
Well, we just we thought he was going to be just here for a little while, then go on to Vancouver. But then he got a job at Cominco, and they said, well, maybe jobs will be scarce, so maybe you would want to get a job there, and he said, yeah, maybe I should get a job. So he went down and got the job.
What did he do?
Well, he had 2 or 3 different things. When he was finished there, when he retired, he was a pipe fitter. But before that, he had 2 or 3 different jobs.
A pipe fitter for the smelter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and where was his family from?
Well, originally from France.
From France.
Yeah. And then the dad came over first, and then the mom came over after. And they lived in Sylvan Lake, Alberta.
Hmm.
You know, and it was just a small town. And he had a general store there, so.
And did they stay there, his parents?
Oh, yeah.
And he came. And what was his name? Your
Joseph.
husband? Joseph.
Joseph.
Joseph Rosse.
Well, he's got a middle name, a French name.
Oh, what was that?
Amédée.
Say that again.
Amédée.
Amédée.
A-M-E-D-E.
Oh.
Amédée.
Oh, interesting. So, did he speak French?
Not a lot, but he did before I met him, I guess. But after that, we didn't speak very much.
Oh, you spoke.
No, because I didn't know it.
So tell me about how he courted you.
I was going to tell you that his mum, when she was pregnant with him, she went back to France to have she was having twins. She went back home to have the babies. She didn't have them here. He wasn't born in Canada. He was born in France.
Oh, interesting.
They called it Swiss France, you know.
Oh, right on the border with Switzerland there?
Yeah. So that was something.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So then, were they well-to-do, his parents?
Not really.
No?
No, just average, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he was born there. So when did he come out here to
I think
Alberta?
he came out about 2 years, when he was about 2 years old, I think.
Okay.
But the dad had already stayed here. He had run his business.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the business again?
He had a little general store. He had everything in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was in Sylvan?
Sylvan Lake.
Sylvan Lake. So his dad had a business there. And what did his mum do?
She worked in the store.
Okay. and what kind of business did they have?
Well, it was a grocery business mostly.
Grocery. What kind of vegetables and what was in there?
Oh, I don't know about vegetables.
So it didn't have vegetables?
I'm not sure. You know, I was never
kinda
in the
like
store.
Okay, you never went there.
I went there, but the store he didn't own the store anymore.
Okay. So then Joseph came here when he was 2 to Sylvan, came back to Sylvan, to Canada. And then how did he end up coming out here? Because his sister had a store here?
Mm-hmm.
He just came to see his sister?
Yes.
Okay, that was a nice
Yeah.
brother. How many brothers and sisters did he have?
He had his twin brother and a younger brother, and he had 2 sisters.
And do you remember their names?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
You want to know all their names?
Yes, that would be nice.
Oh, okay. There's Jeanette and Marguerite. Twin's name was... oh, dang. The younger brother was Henry. Oh, Gaston.
And did Gaston and Joseph look alike?
No.
They didn't.
Completely. Gaston was short. Joe was taller. His younger brother looked more like a twin than his twin.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. So now we have Joseph coming to the store where you worked.
Mm-hmm.
And how did he ask you out?
Well, actually, his sister and brother-in-law said they were going to go out have a beer, with Joe. So would you like to come along? So there we are. That's why it.
Okay. And was it love at first sight?
Oh.
She pauses.
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because he had that no, he wouldn't have had an accent, but he was French. Was he handsome?
French. Yeah.
What did he look like?
Oh, there he is over there.
Oh, okay. The one at the end?
Yeah, he was in the army.
He was in the army. So tell me about the army.
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
Was that
I didn't know him. I didn't know him then.
Oh, you didn't know him
No.
then?
But I know he went right through the Italian campaign, up the boot, what they used to call Italy, the boot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right up there.
Yeah.
So he went to Italy to fight?
No, he went with the Canadians over there to England first.
England?
Then they took the one bunch of people and went down to go through to fight in
In Italy.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay, so, and what, do you know what his position was in the army?
No, he didn't have he drove trucks.
Drove trucks. Well, that's pretty important. So, okay, now, so the two of you go out, have a beer together, and then you decide to start
Nothing.
dating.
Just had a couple of nights like that, and then we started going together. Yeah.
Oh, no. How long was it until you were married?
Well, I met him in 45, and we were married in 46.
Okay. Okay, so that was good.
Yeah.
And then where did you live when you got married?
Well, first little house we had was way up on the top of houses were very scarce then, in those days, eh? About
You
on
mean up here in...
up here on 7th Avenue, or about something way up top of the hill.
Okay, near
Yeah.
Plumen and all
Yeah,
those
way up
streets?
there, yeah.
Oh,
And there was
okay.
just a little house. We couldn't get anything else in those days because there was nothing being built. The war wasn't over yet, and
And what year was that? when
that
you
was
got married?
1946.
Okay.
And then we lived there for about a year, just about a year, and then we got a chance to buy a little house down by the school. So that's where we went.
The McLean School
Yeah,
or the
McLean School.
McLean School. Oh, okay.
So then we moved there, and we were there until my husband passed away, and I still stayed there until I moved into an apartment. Sold my house when I was, how old was I? Trying to remember how old I was. Oh dear, I can't quite remember.
So how long have you been in here?
Oh, just about 15 months.
Oh, you're
See,
pretty
I
new
lived
here.
in another apartment before I moved here.
Oh, okay.
It was just 2 doors over from where our little house was.
Oh. That's handy.
Yeah.
So the house that you were, that house near the McLean School, is that still there?
Oh yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's still
Okay,
there.
Still
Yeah.
there.
We did a lot of renovating on that one because it was only one little bedroom. We fixed upstairs and made 2 bedrooms up there, and
Okay.
yeah.
And so how many children? Did you have
I
children?
had 4 boys.
Yes, 4 boys. And what were their names?
There was Joseph and David up there, who had got killed, and Richard and Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And tell me about their schooling. Where did they go?
They went to McLean.
McLean
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah, make candy there, you know.
Very good. So
Yeah.
you went back to that area.
Yeah.
So now your children, what did they get up to at school? Was there anything?
They all graduated.
Yes.
Yeah, up at the high school. Now, as the high school is, they all went there.
Okay.
'Cause it was built in the meantime.
So when they were growing up, you had 4 boys. That would have been quite a handful. Tell me about the kinds of things that they did and they were interested in. Did they ski at the hill?
Some of them skied. Well, they all took turns of skiing, but they preferred hockey. The 3 of them. David, the youngest one, not the youngest one, the middle one. He liked to ski. He didn't like to play hockey. He didn't like competitive sports.
David.
Didn't like that.
No.
No. He'd go out and he'd swim and he'd ski and everything, but he didn't like to go into a competitive sports. It wasn't for him.
And the other 3?
Oh, they were into hockey and were into ball.
Where did they play ball?
Up at the ballpark.
Here,
No, not
down near.
Oh well, yeah, the one
muse-
up here, yeah. Then
down
they
near
played
the
down.
museum,
They
south of
down
it.
below there. There's on the Cook Avenue ballpark.
Cook Avenue there. Yes.
Yeah, they
yes.
played ball down there quite a bit. The Little
Okay.
League.
The Little League. So when they played ice hockey, was it here in the arena?
Yep.
And did they ever have any going away tournaments?
Yes. Oh, all the time.
All the time?
They were always going someplace in the winter to play hockey, or somebody teams were coming here. You know, but
What was the team called?
the team? Oh, it was well. There was 3 different teams. You see, there was different. They didn't all have names. I don't think. Just the older boys. They had junior. They were just the Rossland juniors.
The Rossland Juniors.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And did you go and watch them? Did you
Oh,
travel
yeah.
with them?
Yeah.
And
After they got old enough for me to leave them.
right. Yes.
Or take them with me, one or the other. But my oldest son on that team one year went to play in the BC finals at Vernon. That was we went there. That was
Vernon. Yes.
yeah.
And so, Now, what do you boys do now? They're married with
Oh,
children?
yes, they're all been married. Joe's retired, my oldest son, he's retired. And Rick is retired, my third son. Actually, and Eddie's going to be retired. They're all retiring, so you
Oh.
can see how old I am.
So what was their profession? What did they each do?
Oh, well, the oldest boy, Joe, he worked for BC Tel, it's now TELUS. And Rick, he worked for Saskatoon. He went to Saskatchewan. He went to school here up to college. Then the fellow from Saskatchewan came over when they were graduating, and he said, I'll take anybody here who wants to come to work in Saskatchewan. And so he went, because they didn't know if he was going to get a job. Yeah.
Okay.
And David, the one that was killed, he worked at Smelter too. And the young one, Eddie, he went to Campbell River with some friends, and he got some work to do there. And finally, he took a plumbing apprenticeship. And he is now, well, he's retiring now, but he had his own business. And both his sons are plumbers.
Oh, interesting. And what was the name of the business?
Just Rossi's Plumbing.
Rossi's Plumbing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I guess they all had children?
Oh, yes.
And
Joe, my oldest boy, he has 3 sons. My second son, David, he wouldn't get married. He died when he was 20 years old. Then Ricky, he had 2 boys. And Eddie, he's got 2 boys. All those boys. I thought I'm never going to have a granddaughter or a great-granddaughter. Now, the first great-grandchild was a boy, and I thought, oh, here we go again. But then the next one was a girl. The first girl in the family. Everything was boys.
wow.
Yeah.
And what was her name?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah. And now I've got all more girls than I have boys. More grandchildren, great-grandchildren.
Great-grandchildren. More girls. Wow. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, this is a memories project of early days in Rossland, and I'm just wondering if you have any memories of maybe the stores, the retail, the shopping downtown. Like, what are your earliest memories of some of the stores?
Well, I can remember when I was 7, I guess it was, when the big fire was on, 1929. My dad, we couldn't go downtown. We wouldn't let us go down. But he went down just, to see if he could do anything. And one of the storekeepers there, I think it was Frank Wiener, he said, you go to the basement before the store burns down and get anything you want. So it'll go to burn anyhow.
Oh, wow.
So he brought home all these rubber boots.
Rubber boots.
Rubber boots.
So he said that because he knew that his store would be burnt down.
Yeah.
Was there no fire department? No.
Oh yes, but the wooden
the
stores.
trucks.
They just those stores just burnt like nothing.
Right.
It was from the bank to the post office. It burnt all in there.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I don't know the history of it.
No.
Tell me about the fire.
Well, I don't.
The firemen. Did they have?
I don't know anything about them.
You
I
didn't
didn't
get
know-
to see. You didn't get to
We
go
did
down.
have a fire, but I didn't really know because I was only 7 years old and I wasn't
Right.
interested in that.
Yeah, no, pretty scary. So
Yeah.
he brought back all these boots,
Yeah. So we
And-
all had new rubber boots. To
rubber
wear.
boots. Okay. Well, that was a bit of good fortune from a bad event.
Yes, that's right.
So now, did they start rebuilding? What was it like after?
I don't remember that part of it
You
because
don't?
I didn't go downtown very much.
Oh,
You know, when
okay.
you're 7 years old, you don't go
No.
wandering off downtown or 8
That's right.
because there's nothing to do down there.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, because you couldn't go to the stores, you had no money.
That's it. And you said your mother. Were there any stores that your mother would shop at for groceries or clothing?
Oh
or
yeah, that big store there that's empty now used to.
Pro Hardware?
Yeah,
On the corner.
It was called Hunter Brothers.
Hunter Brothers. Now,
Yeah.
do you remember anything about Hunter Brothers?
Oh, well, nothing. I used to go down and get the groceries from my mom. She'd give me a note, and I'd go down, and it was different than it is today. There was on the side of it, there was all windows,
Oh,
of the building. We could go in the door there, and at the front of the store here, we'll say the front of the door here, and on this side, facing,
on the Washington Street
Yeah.
side?
there was windows in there. Not right down, right all the way down, but about half the way down. And they put their stuff in the windows, all their groceries, their vegetables and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then they had furniture, and they had shoes, and they had fishing, all kind of hardware, and men's clothes, and, it was a real
So it was a department store.
department store, yeah.
So did they have a catalogue or brochures or anything like that?
One thing about it that was I remember is when you went in there to get something, you put the money, the clerk took the money, put it in a little thing on the wire, pulled the thing, and it went away to the cash register, to the woman in the office. Nobody handled the money, but the women the person in the office. Then she'd send back your change on this little.
And was it through a pipe?
No, it was a little wooden thing that you could turn on a wire, wire.
Okay.
And you just pulled it in a way.
And so it would fly across the wire to
No, the whole thing would move.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just trying to picture what that would look. It wasn't a pipe, because I know sometimes you get those
No, it
tubes
wasn't.
and you put them in and
Yeah,
they get
but they had
sucked in.
the real, like a clothesline wheel.
Oh,
It would
okay.
remind me more of a clothesline.
Oh, like a clothesline, and
Yeah.
somebody would pull it across.
And you just pull it once and it would go. Because
Okay.
it had, I guess I don't know.
And would it go upstairs or
No, it was all on the
on
level.
the one level?
The one level.
So it would fly through the store
Yeah, over to that office.
over to the office with a note. I guess there was a note
Oh
in
yeah,
there or
then
something.
the price of with what I owed, or whatever anybody owed, and then give them the money, and if they changed back, it came.
And did you get a receipt? Like
yeah.
saying what you had purchased? Mm-hmm. You did? Were they handwritten receipts or?
I think they were handwritten.
Handwritten.
Everything was
Okay.
handwritten then, yeah.
Oh, good.
And then they had all the grocery store. They had meat market there too, and
Inside the Hunter Brothers?
yeah.
They had meat, like a butchery?
Yeah, butcher. They had a butcher shop,
okay.
little butcher shop, and then all the other groceries you needed. Mm-hmm. So, see, my dad, he liked to garden, and he was talking to the owner, Jimmy Hunter, and I think it was through him that we got our house that we're in, because we didn't have lots of money, so I guess Dad went up and worked for him in his garden.
In Jimmy Hunter's
His
garden?
Yeah, but he lived on the cliff. You know where the minor hall is?
Yes.
Right up on the cliff above, there's a house there,
Okay.
and that's where he lived.
Where Jimmy Hunter lived.
Yeah, and my dad.
And he had a garden there.
Oh, he had a big garden and flowers. He liked to have the flowers. My dad loved working up there.
Oh.
And his days off, he'd go and work there to make some money.
And then Jimmy Hunter would sell those items, those flowers and the vegetables and everything in his store?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
so that garden was just for him, for
Just
his
for him,
personal
yeah,
use.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, I don't know where he got his stuff from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chinese gardens.
Could be.
perhaps.
I don't know where he
Who
got it
knows?
from.
So I know that at the museum we've got a piece of the original Hunter Brothers ceiling.
Oh?
Yes, and it was ornate iron or steel.
Oh, right.
Metal. It
Yeah,
was
metal,
metal, anyway.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you remember
No, I
what
didn't
the
pay
building
attention.
looked like? No.
I didn't pay attention to
It's
that
too
kind
much
of
to
thing.
look at, right? And did they have a lot of staff working in the store?
Oh, well, quite a few, because there had to be one, like so many for the men's and ladies department, and one for the hardware, and then the groceries. And,
Right.
You know, so they had quite a few. And they had to have sale clerks because they had washing machines and Chesterfields and
Oh.
all that kind of things to sell, so that somebody had to be doing that.
And so when somebody was buying groceries or somebody was buying a Chesterfield, would that be the same? Would there be many of these flying?
I don't know about
Cash
I don't know about
things.
that, because those are big items. They probably had to go and probably couldn't pay for them right away, so probably had to go
Right.
to see the boss.
See the boss and pay in installments.
Whatever
Oh,
they
okay.
yeah.
So that was the Hunter Brothers. What other stores did they have in downtown Rossland? You mentioned the bank. Did you ever get to go in the Bank of Montreal?
Oh yes, lots of times.
And-
Well, I had my money in there.
Oh. And what was it like inside?
The bank?
Yes.
Oh, it was really nice. They had this big clock, which is now in the credit union. because the credit union took that building over for a while, but they didn't want to have their business there. They were building a new credit union.
Okay.
So, but it had all these big wooden tables and things, that really old ones.
Now, did they have like a long
Yes.
table or little tables?
Well, they had little tables, but they had the where the clerks were. They were
Right.
they were behind, like, they had a little kind of a weather, what do you call it?
Like
A
a
gate,
gla-
like.
A glass front?
No, it wasn't glass.
Oh.
There was all these iron, looked like the iron.
Oh,
or
like a
something.
fencing.
A fencing, yeah.
Right, oh,
yeah.
okay.
But other than that, but it was very pretty.
And were there any hold-ups?
Not that I know of.
No?
Maybe before I was born there might have been some. When the mining was going big strong.
And what other stores do you remember along Columbia? What was, like, any of your favourites? Did they have coffee shops, like cafes?
They
where you
do,
could
but not
sit
as many as they
outside?
have now.
Right.
Yeah, no, there was the drugstore and the meat market and the ladies' wear and a couple of ladies' wear store. Like, there was a big store called Woogman's. It had men's and ladies in it. The clothing, and what the ladies were all upstairs and the men were downstairs.
Where was that?
That was about 3 doors over from the bank. In
Okay.
between that, there was a Buterac store,
A what store?
jewelry.
A jewelry store.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Who owned that? Do you know?
Mrs. Buterac.
Oh, Mrs. Burack, okay. And was it like fine jewelry or costume
Well, she
jewelry?
had there quite a bit, mostly good stuff,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And do you remember much about the mines? Did you get to see any mine?
No,
No.
they were closing when
They
I
kind
was
of closed.
I think so. I don't remember the year they closed, but
Some people have stories about when they were young boys, they would go up, and look down the mines and throw things in the mines.
Oh, you could do that, yeah.
Right. Did
yeah.
you or your brothers ever do anything
I don't know
like
what my
that?
brothers did. They just I don't even remember if I did that, but I have been up there before they put the museum there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We used to go berry picking up in through there.
Through where the museum is now?
Yeah, up in the mountain.
Oh, a little bit higher up there?
Yeah.
Yes. There's some good huckleberries up there.
Oh yes. There is.
Yes, I found them last year.
Yeah.
So now, do you remember the railways? The
Yes.
CPR and the Great Northern
Yes,
at all?
because they came right through the back alley almost.
Your back alley behind 2nd Avenue?
Yeah, there was a big gully there, and I could go over and watch the train going by. Yeah, we were here right on the edge there, and I always tell the kids, don't go too close there, because the train's coming.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that was when you were married to Joseph and,
Yeah.
and you had your 4 boys and the tracks were behind that house?
Yeah, but I could still, when I lived on First Avenue,
1st Avenue.
when we were living there, like when I was at home, the trains were coming up, going up and down there.
And do you remember what the trains looked like?
Oh, just like ordinary coach train, and they had these big boxes that were metal things that they have now, and they were all full of coal. Coal, yeah. You had to get your coal up from there. There was nobody else. See, Kamenko used to send it up for his workers, but they had to buy it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you have coal?
Oh yes, we had coal.
And how would they deliver it to your house?
Oh, well, but not I don't know, with horses or whatever it was in those days.
On a wagon?
On a wagon.
And they come door to door, or did you have to go up there and get it?
No, they had to order it ahead of time, and then they knew where to bring it.
Okay, so they would dump it somewhere and you would come and
No,
get
they shovel it into the shed.
Oh, into your shed at home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good service.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And what shape we called them briquettes?
No, ours
What
weren't
did you
briquettes.
just-
Ours was regular coal, big
lumps of coal?
of coal, and you'd break them up, and you could put them in your stove at night, and a big piece, and it would burn all night, sort of thing, eh?
Oh.
That's what we could keep warm.
But otherwise you would break it up
Well,
to
not
get
yeah.
it
Oh yeah,
started?
smaller pieces, yeah.
Okay, because I remember when I was growing up, we had briquettes and they were shaped like this.
We
And,
had those too.
right.
After the stove kind of went out, they had brought all these different oil stoves and the briquette things, and they were all
Right.
different kind of. Didn't have to get coal anymore.
I know the Bank of Montreal, maybe, and the post office. I think they've still got the old heating in there, and it's those radiators.
That's right.
And weren't they filled with water?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Was your house, did you have a water radiator in your house?
No, not in my house.
Did any of the houses have water radiators?
Maybe some of the bigger ones, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yes.
we never had any.
But maybe the smaller houses would have the coal
Yeah, and the wood.
and the wood fires going.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had this big kitchen stove, and then we had another heater in the other little room down towards the living room, so we got the heat through the bedrooms. And
Oh, okay. Right.
yeah.
So, sorry, back to the train. So they were delivering the coal from Trail.
From Cominco.
Cominco.
From the smelter, I always call
The
it.
smelter, yes. And where would they stop to unload the coal?
Well, they'd stop up there before they hit the station. They'd stop. They would go off. There's more than one track. Eh?
Now, when you say the station, you better tell us where that is.
Oh, that's was. It's now where the fire hall is.
That was the station there, right?
The station house there.
Oh, okay. So that station house. What is a station house?
Well, where the people went to get in on the train.
Oh, okay. Where the platform was.
Yeah, the
and people
platform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then they also used to bring up all this feed for animals and stuff like that, you know.
So there were a lot of animals up here, and
well, people have
horses
farms
and farms
and stuff, and they used to bring all that kind of stuff up. And there was a big building there. Now it's where the Golden City Manor is now.
You'll have to tell me where the city manor is. Oh no, that I know where that is. Isn't that
Up by the
Second Avenue?
Yeah, but
Yes.
I lived
Right.
next about a block away from where it is now, where that
Okay.
Golden City Manor is.
Right.
But there was a big building there, and they used to bring all this stuff up for people who were farming and had chickens and stuff, all the feed.
Okay, and then there was wasn't there a station or a platform opposite the flying steam shovel?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that spot
That's
right there. Oh, okay. I'm picturing further along that road.
No.
Right.
No,
So that makes
it
sense
was all
to
in
me.
that across there, and then part of the other block where the manor is now. But
Okay, and then so it must have been a very long station.
well, the station itself
Almost a whole block.
was a good size.
Right.
Yeah, right. But then there was all this beside it. There was a lot of land. You know,
Right.
there was nothing on.
And do you remember if that was the CPR or the Great Northern?
Well, I always
I-
CPR as far as I was concerned. I
Okay.
didn't know the Great Northern.
I think the Great Northern, didn't it come from the States? Northport?
Well, that's when the mines were running.
Yeah,
See,
so
see, I
before
didn't-
1930.
I don't know how long they were running that way, but
Okay.
they still came up. But I don't know what they were
Right,
doing.
it was the CPR, now I remember. So was any part of the train a passenger train?
Yes, there was a passenger train.
Did you ever go on it?
Okay, the only time that I can remember ever going on the train was one year. I don't know if we did it more than once. The smelter, they put on a picnic and sent up the trains to Rossland, these coaches, and anybody that worked in the Cominco, they had a list of names and stuff and that. Took us to Nelson, to the Lakeside Park. Lakeside Park in Nelson.
Oh, Lakeside, where the Prestige is?
Yeah,
Around there?
around there, yeah.
Oh.
It took us all over there for the day.
So the train went all the way up there
Yeah.
from here?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to get off at Trail and
No,
switch
no,
trains or something?
No. They just probably hooked another train on, another coach on the back or two, unless the trail had their own train, I don't know. But,
And how long did that take to get up there?
oh, I don't remember. That must have taken a couple hours anyhow,
Right.
but I'm not sure.
And were they closed trains?
Yes.
Or were they open?
No, they were closed.
They were closed?
Yeah.
And were they
all
packed? Were they packed? Were they full?
Oh
when they
yeah,
had these picnics?
yeah, that's right. They were full. Everybody wanted to go to Nelson.
Oh.
Besides, they give you tickets to get ice cream and candy and.
No. So the candy and ice cream are up in Nelson?
The what?
The candy and ice cream
Oh yeah, it was in the park.
in the park. So they brought the candy and ice cream,
Yeah.
or were there stores there?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No, but they brought it to the park because
They brought it to the park.
we couldn't walk to the town up to the town because it was a little
Okay.
too far,
Okay.
and our parents wouldn't let us go up there anyhow.
Right. Okay. And that was because your dad worked at Kaminko.
Mm-hmm.
So once a year there'd be an annual picnic.
Well, not when the war was on. There was no more picnics. And that
Oh.
was it.
Oh. And did they give you food as well,
No, you had to bring your own lunch
had to bring your own picnic lunch?
basket. Yeah.
And did they put on any events, or did they?
Well, I think seems to me we had races and stuff like that, but I just can't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there's a band there playing, and
Nice. And then, so what time did they take you back?
I don't remember. They just brought us home.
Before it was night? Before nightfall? You don't remember? All right. That's something that I would have loved to have seen, is those trains. And,
Yeah.
especially the engine. I'm assuming it was a steam engine.
Oh yeah, it was an
With
engine.
that
Big smoke
plume
and
of-
yeah,
Probably coal
and the soot and everything.
and the soot. And that would have been in everybody's faces, right?
Yeah.
And so I know that they took the railway apart in the 60s, 1960 something.
I don't know what the date, but we were still living there when they were doing it.
Right.
Yeah. But we used to watch them come up, and then they go up to the Y, go up the Y, what they call a Y.
Now tell me where the Y is.
Well, it went up around past how would I put it?
Here in
The
Rossland?
mountain here in Rossland, yeah.
Oh, okay, there was a Y in Rossland.
With a Y, yeah, and it went up to 7th Avenue, or I think it was 7th, and then it had to back up, you see, to turn around to go back down to trail.
Oh, okay. I think I've been on a hiking trail called the Rail Grade.
Oh yeah.
I think like there was an upper section and then there was a lower section,
No, this is all one.
and it was like two different trails, like they would have gone.
No.
So how did they turn around? Was on a
Well, they'd back up. See, they'd go up quite a ways, and then they'd back up on the other trail, at the railway that was there,
That's what I think I saw.
and then they come down again.
Yes, that's very neat.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to have seen those trains.
Yeah.
I think it would have been quite something else.
Oh yeah, but they were noisy.
Noisy. How often did they come through?
Pretty well, no, not every day. Unless I don't know if my dad went on the train to go to work and at the smelter or not, because I don't know if they had any buses or then in those days or not. He may have gone to work on the train.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I heard somebody else say that they went by train to work.
Yeah.
And going down the Rossland Hill, see, I know I've seen a tunnel
Yeah.
when you go
Oh,
down the
that's-
Rossland Hill, and that little concrete tunnel in that, it's like a bridge overpass.
Top, yeah.
Was that a tunnel that the train went through?
No, that's
was
where the
that
cars
tunnel
went
for?
through.
Oh, the cars went through that tunnel.
Yeah. The train was on top, went across the top.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, it's still the tracks are still there.
Yeah.
Right. So the tunnel was made for the cars.
Well, they still have the tunnel, not the tunnel, they still have the train, the tracks there, and the
Yes,
train
they
goes
do.
to Warfield and then goes back up to the top of the Tadnack there where the,
Yes.
yeah.
And so then if that tunnel was for vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
where the present day road is, what was there?
Just the tunnel.
So it was only a tunnel.
Yeah, just a tunnel. For
So when did they start making that road that we travel up and down on?
Oh, I don't ask me. I don't know.
It's kind of intriguing. Oh, I always thought there must have been some other little train that went through that tunnel, but
No.
it was for the vehicles.
Just for the vehicles.
There
yeah.
we go. Now I've learned something. I think I've seen more than one little tunnel, but anyway, I could be wrong. So that's the trains. How did you get around? When did you buy a vehicle? I assume you drove. Did you get
Oh,
your
yeah,
license?
after I got married. But when we were growing up, we didn't have a car.
No. How did you get around?
Walked.
You just walked. Okay. Or took the train to Nelson once a
Yeah,
year.
well, that's it, once a year, yeah.
So you must have been pretty happy here in Rossland.
Oh, yeah, I was quite happy.
How did people travel if they wanted to go to Castlegar or...
I don't know. I never went to... After we got our car, it was all right. But after I got married, we got a car. But my
before
dad
that-
never had a car.
Never had a car?
We had a friend who had a car that took us some around different places, but we didn't have...
Right.
Mom and Dad never had a car.
So that's interesting. And did you go on any lakes? Do you remember anything about lakes?
Oh, yeah. Mostly Christina Lake.
Christina Lake.
Yeah. Yeah. When you wanted to go to Christina, there was no big highway like we have now. You had to go over the summits to go up the summit, you know where that is?
No, I don't know where the summit... I've heard of people saying the Rossland Summit.
Yeah.
But I cannot see that on any map.
Well, maybe not, because the road is still there, and people live at, where the museum is?
The Cascade Highway?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
Okay, that's where, if you wanted to go to Christine Lake, you had to go over that, down to the bottom of the hill, and up again, and then down.
Oh my goodness.
It was all dust.
Pure dust. And I bet when you were talking about when you were a child, you went to Christina Lake?
Yeah.
So, wow. So how many of you in the car then?
Well, we never went actually with when we were all at home.
Oh, okay. This is later when you and Joseph were married.
Yeah.
Oh, you drove that way. Okay. So
I don't know when they built that highway. I don't know when they built that highway.
I don't either.
No.
But I've driven along it to go hiking up to Mount Roberts.
Oh, everybody does. I never did that.
You never did that? Now, did you ski?
Never went to Old Glory either.
You didn't go to Glory?
No.
They're the first two things I did.
Is that right?
I got here. I don't know why, but I just did. Did you ever ski?
Oh, a little bit, but not on the big hills.
Not on the big hills. Where did you ski?
Oh, over behind where they had the school there. They had a little hill. We used to ski down there. Or we just stay right down there.
And you're talking cross-country skis or downhill?
Oh, I did, yeah, when we got older. My husband and I did a cross-country, but not until after the kids were all grown up, yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know when Blackjack was established, but did you ski around Blackjack?
Well, I don't know if they didn't have the little hut there when we were skiing, but we were on the paths with Jack. We went up at the paths there, and the trails.
And was it free, or did they start charging a fee?
No, they didn't charge anything.
Oh, so nothing was groomed? It was all just freshly laden snow?
Well, a lot of people skied up there, so there was the track there.
Follow the tracks from the people.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So what is your favourite memory here in Rossland? I mean, if you were trying to tell people to come to Rossland, I mean, I know how wonderful it is, but what in particular appeals to you about Rossland, or appealed to you growing up?
Oh, I don't really know. That's just where my dad worked. That's where we had to live.
Well, you certainly were very lucky.
But one year, the pipes froze in the house.
Oh.
Did we tell you about that?
No.
So,
which house? When you were growing up? Or
yeah, when we were growing up. And a lot of the pipes were frozen that year. We had to come down to this park. No building was there here. They had these, you must have seen the picture down.
I have, I love it.
Yeah.
Island Park.
Yeah. There's a creek run through there.
Yes.
We had to come down there to get our water. So we took the sleigh and away we went and filled up our boilers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you took a sled to get the water, but then how did you get back up?
We pulled it up.
Oh, you pulled it up?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So this was a campground here, wasn't it, originally? Isling Park was a campground?
Oh, I really don't know. We just called it our park. We used to come down and play down here.
Oh, okay.
And there's tables, picnic tables, and they're covered over. Maybe people tented here. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, what's the creek that runs through here?
Well, it's not there now.
No, but what was it called? Do you remember?
Well, I don't know if it's where that water comes from now that they have on that little falls they have in the other part of the park, you know, that nice park over there they have.
No, which park? The
one you go walk out the door and there's the park.
Oh, just here in front of this building?
Yeah, in front of this building.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I don't know where they get the water from for that little
Because I know
waterfalls.
they've diverted the water. Wasn't it running under this building?
I think so. Yes, it
And
was.
then there's a big culvert.
Yeah.
And they've got it running under the building. And then across the road, I've always got to look out the window. Across the road there's like a bit of a forest where there's no houses. Just across the road. And when you go in that section there's a swamp. So just a little bit up Spokane Street.
Oh, up, yeah.
Just a little bit up.
Yeah.
And then across the road. Straight down.
Right, I know where you mean
Yes.
now. Yeah,
And
there's nothing there.
There's nothing there, but what was that area?
Nothing, it's just the same as it is now.
And there's like a little path that goes through.
That for bikes?
Not really for bikes. It looks like it was an old wagon.
Well, it could have been.
Or something.
There could have been buildings there before a long time ago.
Maybe.
I don't remember any.
I certainly know that the bear goes that way.
Oh yes, I know.
You can see where he's been, right? But I've always been curious about the water down there. It's like a swamp. It's like a little pond.
Yeah.
But I
A lot
wondered
of water drains in there from the mountains, I guess, and that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Rossland, and well, shall we say, what was your worst? Was that your worst winter when all your pipes froze?
Pretty well.
And how did you repair the pipes? What happened?
Well, they still got them thawed out somehow, but I know even the people up on 6th Avenue or 5th Avenue, they had frozen pipes too, because I was talking to the lady that lives upstairs here, and she said they went to the reservoir and got water.
Oh.
You see, of course the reservoir was bigger than it is now.
It was?
Oh yeah, bigger, because it's been diverted now. It goes down to some, we don't get the water from there anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the reservoir that's currently there now?
Yeah.
On the Centennial Trail?
Yeah.
Go under the road?
Yeah.
And then straight there to your right, is that, you were saying that reservoir was bigger?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was bigger. They went and pulled their sleigh up there to get water up there.
Wow.
It was really a bad cold winter, but I don't know. I can't remember going down more than once or twice, but.
Right. So somehow the pipes thawed out and everything was good again. Nothing broke.
No.
That's kind of fortunate.
Then the next big thing was getting the hook onto the sewer.
Oh.
That was a big thing.
Oh, so you didn't have sewer. Oh, well, of course, in those days, growing up, you're talking about.
Yeah.
No sewer.
All had septic tanks.
Right.
Yeah.
So they would have had to dig everything up to put the pipes in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So.
See, we didn't have a regular bathroom in our house because you had to go to the outhouse.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
I hated that. Anyway, then they dug a septic tank so we could have, we could have a toilet then.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what about bath water? I was just thinking about regular water.
Well, we had a big tub. We bathed in the big tub.
But where did you get the water from?
Well, the pipes weren't frozen all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, just
So
that
you
one.
had water coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't a problem for you. And you had power, because I know we had
Yes,
the
we had
Kootenai power from way back from the mines.
Mm-hmm.
So you had enough water, and
Yeah.
you had your fireplaces to keep you warm. So that was the worst winter, and that was when you were how old?
Oh, I don't remember.
Were you under 10?
I don't remember.
Don't remember.
No, I don't remember.
But you remember coming down with the sled and getting water just for that 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It never happened again, I don't think.
Right.
That I know of.
Now, did your parents stay in Alberta?
My parents?
Yes.
Just, they were there not very long.
Oh, they came here, but did they ever go back to Alberta?
Just to visit.
Just to visit, but they...
My youngest sister lives in Fernie.
Okay.
And they went back to visit him. And I've been there 2 or 3 times visiting her. But
Right.
they went to Blairmore, where I was born. And my oldest sister, she was hit by a car. And she died.
Oh.
And they went back to see if they could find out, anything. Where she was buried or anything. There was not a thing to go by.
And this was back in Alberta?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
Yeah. I didn't know her because I was just little.
Right.
I couldn't remember her at all.
Oh, okay. So those days, and then one thing people were telling me about was in the early days there was a lot of, there were trestles for the trains to go across.
Yeah.
But there were also walking trestles to access different parts of Rossland. Do you know much? There was one in 2nd Avenue, apparently. And you would walk on the trestle, so you didn't have to go down into the...
Oh yeah, over there. No, I don't know. I don't know if I was ever on it or not. Maybe I was.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so just one last thing. Do you have any memories of your friends? Who did you grow up with, or?
Oh well, I grew up with the girls that lived around me. There was next door neighbor. There was. Sadie Macaulay, and then there was Helen Douglas, up in another house. All of the houses where they lived, there was all houses all in a row there, where I was living.
In 2nd Avenue?
Yeah, no, on 1st Avenue.
1st Avenue.
Yeah, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses there, and now there's only one. There's one left, and that's the kindergarten, not kindergarten, the daycare.
Oh, the daycare,
Yeah,
right.
my sister used to live in that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I know where that is.
Yeah.
And then what about when you were married? Did you have any good friends or neighbours?
Oh, they were friendly then in those days.
Friendly in those days?
Everybody was friends in those days.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And what about the Miners Hall? I know that now we have, events in there and dances and
Oh, they used
all
to have
sorts of
dances
things.
in there all the time. I always loved to dance.
You love to dance. So
Yeah.
tell me about the dances. What kind of music and...
Well, all kinds of music. Waltzes, foxtrots, and whatever they want, they played them.
Oh, fabulous. And how often would they be?
Well, they could dance every night, pretty near a different place.
Oh, wow. Here in Rossland?
Not every night, no.
But pretty often.
They had dances on a Wednesday night, a Friday night, a Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they actually teach you to dance, or you
No,
just...
I learned myself.
Okay. Because I know recently we had on a Tuesday night we had dance lessons.
Mm-hmm.
It was called the jive.
Oh,
The
yeah.
social jive, a modern jive. So I was just wondering if this was something that was... And do you remember, you said it was a live band?
Yep.
Do you remember any names of the bands?
Well, from Trail there was the Serenaders, and then what they guys called themselves. There's a small orchestra, but they played mostly Western music.
Oh, Western.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it was nice.
Nice. So I've really tested your knowledge here, and I've got to thank you, Margaret, very much for everything that you've told
Well,
us.
I hope we can use it.